It's the holiday game. We're feeling very festive.
At least I am.
Well, I am too. You just can't tell.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Lusky. He's Jamie Thomas. We are looking forward to the next 30 minutes where we are going to get you ready for tonight's game between the Winnipeg Jets, the Ottawa Senators, as the Jets close out this 4-game homestand. The glasses are coming off.
It's time for Superman.
Okay, things are getting serious.
Yeah.
It is an Amazon game tonight.
Yep.
So always enjoy when the Amazon Prime crew is able to come to town.
They're over there.
Yeah, they are behind our camera right now. You can't see them. But Andy Petrillo, who is here in town with Amazon, is going to join us. She is also an author.
Right.
She just wrote her first book, Just Call Me Andy, Sports Stories from a Trailblazer. She is, of course, also the very accomplished host for CBC Sports with all of the Olympic coverage. So there's lots to talk to Andy about. So looking forward to that. Logan Stanley is going to join us, all that and more. But let's kick things off by going back to what was, I think it's safe to say, probably the Jets' best game of the season so far. I don't know if it was because it was a 1,000th game for Nino. Perhaps it was the return of number 37, but the Winnipeg Jets with a huge win against the Washington Capitals.
Yeah, the Washington comes in 4th overall, and there are like so many factors going in. But first off, how about that video, the tribute video for Nino Niederreiter, 1,000th game? The star power in that video was something else.
You do not want to perhaps celebrate a 1,000th game here in Winnipeg not anymore. I mean, are you going to have Roger Federer in your video?
Or one of the presidents
of Switzerland, one of the best alpine skiers in the world
ever,
Michelin chef.
Yeah.
He set the bar pretty high.
Like, I don't know. Like, I'm done. I'm not. If I'm asking to trade it out of here, I'll do my 1,000th game on the road. That's what after that video. So that was impressive.
And yes, as someone pointed out, love seeing Fly in that video package. Obviously, I mean, if you had the chance to see it, Nikolai Ehlers was in it as well, and certainly got a huge ovation from the crowd within Canada Life Center when he popped up on the screen.
Yeah, it was cool. It was, and I think now the Jets are 4-0, and when they're celebrating someone's 1,000th game in franchise history, the beginning was great. The way the Jets played from start to finish was fantastic, and it was such a relief to see Connor Hellebuck down there, and you could just of course he gets the biggest applause when they introduced the starting lineup on Thursday night, Saturday night, and it was just a great game from start to finish.
Yeah, absolutely. And we of course didn't know whether or not Hellebuck would be returning for it. There was no morning skate, or it was optional, and so they didn't show lines, and so we didn't know. But there had been a lot of buzz around the rink. We knew that we were going to see him in the coming days, so it was a huge boost for it. And the team, we've discussed so much over the 3 weeks that he's been out about the impact, obviously, that he has, but it just seemed to permeate out. Now, granted, he did not face the high danger shots that we had seen given up to Eric Comrie over a number of recent games, but he just has that steadying effect on the team.
And especially on the penalty kill, because Washington had 2 early power plays in the first period, and we all know about the danger that they provide with Alex Ovechkin. Jacob Chikrin's very dangerous. John Carlson, very dangerous in that power play. Tom Wilson. I just think, they set the tone early on with 2 huge penalty kills. And of course, I think the steadying force you talked about was Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah, absolutely. So want to hear from players post-game?
Yeah, let's hear from a trio of people after the game. A very impressive 5-1 win over the Washington Capitals.
I mean, it was amazing. It was something I will never forget. Always, like I said, as a little boy, you dream about moments like this, and top it off with a win like that was amazing.
I just think there was a lot of excitement around the room, and the guys really brought it tonight. They did everything and more tonight. They blocked shots. They let me see pucks. They really controlled the pace of the game, and our execution was real good tonight. So top to bottom, everyone just worked so hard.
Yeah, no, for sure it was. It was 20 guys. That was complete throughout the lineup. All 4 lines looking a lot alike. D were real solid. Obviously Helly was good when he had to be, and you're right. It was probably our best, our most complete game of the year.
And Scott O'Neill talked about the most complete game, or one of their best games. They had a solid game against Dallas. Came up short at the start of this homestand. They've had some good games. So now the key is to take what they did on Saturday, wrap it up into a ball, and try and do it again tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. As mentioned, the Ottawa Senators here in town, they have spent just a ton of time on the road. They've had their struggles recently as well. They've been dropping down in the Atlantic Division. They are outside of the playoff picture too. So both these teams, when you look at their December records, very similar. But I was talking with Nolan Baumgartner, who obviously spent years here with the Manitoba Moose on the coaching staff. He was just saying that they've spent so much. It's been a 15-day road trip. Then you're back for a couple days, and it's a 5-game road trip.
Where have we heard that before?
I know,
so,
but you don't often hear it from the East. You
true.
often hear it from Western Conference teams, so it's a different scenario. But they've had their struggles as well, and goaltending has been an issue for them, as have injuries.
Yeah. So I remember, like I said, going back to that game, when the Jets lost in Edmonton, and Louis DeBrusk was saying Edmonton went through the same thing. So there is something, and again, not an excuse, there's a reason for a lot of things. Being away from home, always being on the road does add up after a while, especially with dealing with the injuries that some of these teams have. So Ottawa going through it right now as well.
And the compressed schedule. One of the great things with the game and the win that stood out as well was secondary scoring, which has been talked about a lot. So, you see the Morgan Barron score. It's great.
Back-to-back games.
Yes. But how about Logan Stanley?
My gosh. So Logan scored
the offensive juggernaut that he has become.
Right. He scored some big goals in his time, but this goal that he scored against Washington on Saturday was very unique. Let's take a look at it.
Has to be Logan Stanley. A great job here. Comes in off of the point. And with the shot, he's able to tip it in off of the rebound. Shifley looking, they go D to D, it comes off the backboards, and Logan Stanley is there.
Okay, so Logan Stanley had played, I believe, just over 200 games in the National Hockey League coming into the season, had 5 goals. How many goals did he have this year?
5.
Right, so in 31 games. So, right, Aristeel, Big Stan is on fire this year, and someone who has been taking note of this is friend of the show, James Duthie.
Yes.
So I love this. Let's take a look at the tweet that he sent out after the 5th goal, because our admin has been all over James Duthie since the conversation about the goal scoring. So he has scratched out Connor Bedard, which is on the R right now. So maybe the timing of this is perfectly, and very nicely written in Stanley.
Stanley, you're first line right winger.
Not only are you not on defense, you're like first line right winger with Nathan McKinnon and Sidney Crosby. No big deal. So I love the creativity from James Duthie on this one. The eruption from the crowd, it feels like everything Logan Stanley does right now is turning to gold. So you hope this streak continues with the way he's been playing.
Yeah, well, when you look in the comments, a lot of people were surprised to be able to see the production that he's had so far, and look, understandably so, in the sense of, as you mentioned, a combined 5 goals throughout his. Yeah,
first 5 years in the NHL.
So to be able to see him put up the numbers that he's putting up so far, and I think also how we showed that goal that he had.
Jumping in the play.
It's changing too. So I had the chance to catch up with Logan just a short while ago as the bench interview for today, and actually I asked him about not just the goal.
No. MVP chance?
But I didn't.
Oh, that's okay.
I've asked him about the MVP chance before, which you have, but I did ask him also about James Duthie's tweet. All right, Logan, well, obviously a huge win the other night against Washington. It wasn't just the fact that you guys got the 2 points, but how you guys played in that game. What is it that stood out to you most about that win?
I think it was a group effort from Helly on out. Arnie's been preaching about 20 guys showing up and pulling their weight, and I thought that was a great example of it.
How do you build on that tonight against Ottawa?
Got to go do it again. I think everyone's got to show up with the same mindset and come prepared to play a hard-fought game and hopefully get the same result.
Okay, so 5 goals now on this season. Obviously, a lot has been made about the fact that that equals your career total combined up until then. What has been working so well for you this year?
Probably a little bit of puck luck, some good plays by teammates, and just a lot of hard work that goes into off-season training and stuff after practice. I think it's starting to pay off a little bit, and it's nice to get rewarded.
I don't know if you saw, James Duthie had put a tweet out. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you ever, had you ever played forward at a young age for hockey?
Never.
No, always.
My dad was a defenseman. You want to be like your dad, so it's always like him,
All right. For you, when you look at this Ottawa team, give me one key that you're looking to really key in on tonight.
Yeah, I think defend is 5. They got some high-end skill and can score a lot of goals. So defend as a 5-man unit and go from there.
Confidence level right now?
Oh, it should be high for everybody. Yeah, I think getting our best player back, definitely helps. And we're looking forward to another good challenge tonight.
Thanks so much for the time, Logan. Appreciate it.
Something Scott O'Neill pointed out the other night, with the return of Connor Hellebuyck, that's the first time all year the Jets have been fully healthy.
Which is incredible.
Game 31.
Yeah.
It's taken that long.
Well, and we've seen in different seasons, we have seen either injuries play a substantial role or they've remained remarkably healthy throughout it. Obviously not the case, but to be able to have Connor Hellebuyck back, I just think same thing. I spoke to Gabe Vilardi after the game. He was first star with a couple of goals. And I asked him about, what does Hellebuyck mean to the team? Like, well, he's the MVP.
I think that now, I'm not sure if anybody has, and I've heard people say Leon Draisaitl should have won the Hart last year. But man, you take Leon Draisaitl out of the Oilers lineup, you have Connor McDavid to fill in there. It's not bad. It's just like you've just seen the importance and what Connor Hellebuyck is to this team. And they looked so much like the team we've seen the last 3 years, and he's just there one game. Another thing I wanted to ask you about is you said after the game, Josh Morris skated off with third star, and I've never thought the guys see some of the stuff that we do because they're so busy. He actually saw Bones' interview the other day, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He made a reference to the rocking chair comment.
Right, where you have an easy night and you can play 26 minutes, you can play in a rocking chair.
You can play in a rocking chair. So he made a small comment to me about it as he was walking out because he was third star in the last game. So
cool, man. I think I'll do anything if Josh Morris is watching what we do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My whole attitude has changed.
It's you know what, we've all picked up on it.
Right.
It's just really it just permeates out of you
for
right
so
now.
Long. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was because of those comments or because of the scarf. Because I have seen in the comments right now a number of people commenting on your scarf and how you look very eloquent.
I think that's the best to see. That scarf is styling.
Yeah.
So where can we get these?
For it.
This Jet Ski, right? Obviously.
Yes. Let me see. So this is actually tonight's save of the game. It is the alternate logo acrylic scarf by Flip Customs, and they are 30% off. So that is today only available if you are coming to the game or at Jets Gear, of course, as always, or take a look online. We like to give you guys holiday gift ideas. We'll have some more as this show goes on right now, but let's take a look at what the projected lines are going to be as we turn our attention to tonight, because Andy Petrilla is going to join us shortly.
Yeah.
So just before we bring her in, we want to be able to take a look, and no surprise.
No change.
After such a good game, why would you change things? This is what we are anticipating seeing tonight when the Jets play their 16th game at home. Reminder, they are 8-7 now.
Well, I thought,
Life Center.
Speaking of talking with Bones, the start of the conversation was about breaking out the top line, and then he said, well, you can always put the top line back. Lo and behold, Arnie puts the top line back together for the game against Washington. Another line that kind of stood out to me too is Barron, Lowry, and Iafallo.
I like that line.
I've always wondered how Morgan Barron would fit on that third line, and now that Adam Lowry is getting up to speed, there's more of that focus on shutting down the other team's best line, which that line did. And Alex Iafallo's got goals in back-to-back games, and he fits in so well. Wherever you throw Alex Iafallo, it works. But I thought this year, at least, that's been the best fit for him so far this year.
Yeah, I really like Morgan Barron. I have liked him in the middle. I liked him early on, but I do think that as the season's gone on, that when you can play around with the lines, that you can. And I think that as much as Morgan can play and has spent the majority of his NHL career, obviously, on the wing, it's also about trying to get other people going in the middle.
Have you ever written a book?
I have not. A children's book for school?
Oh, maybe. Okay.
Class project?
The way
perhaps.
You paused there, I'm like, oh my gosh, she actually has written a book.
Yeah, I just never told you about it.
Right.
No.
Okay.
It's maybe a school project.
So I thought, or you did anyways, we should bring on an author. And we've had an author on here already with James Duthie.
Yeah.
But Andy Petrilla has been so kind to join us as it's an Amazon Prime game. And she's written a book.
Yes.
Zach, can you throw the book up for us, please? As Andy pops into our screens. Hi, Andy. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Just call me Andy. Listen, when you see this now, does you pinch yourself sometimes? Is it reality? I mean, you've written a book. There it is. And a lot of work obviously goes into these things, but is it hitting you now that you're an author?
A little bit. I think I really felt it when the books arrived at my house, because as the author, you get some books that you can hand out to people. And when they arrived, like, I got to touch it, I got to feel it, I got to look at it, and I went, oh my God, this is real. So I had that moment probably a couple months ago. And now people coming up to me quoting chapters or quoting like a storyline or something that I shared in there has been pretty cool. So it's not getting old yet. It's very, very lovely.
Well, it's a wonderful book, Andy. I absolutely loved it. And obviously, you and I have known each other for many years now. What was the process like, though, for writing this book? Because we showed the picture. I've got a copy here as well. And we like to give holiday gift ideas during the month of December. And so this is a great one, not just for maybe aspiring broadcasters or the female sports fans, but the types of stories in here will be enjoyed by everybody. But what was the process like for you of writing this book?
All brand new. I've never written one. Unlike all of our good friend, James Duthie, who wrote the foreword in my book too. This guy's a pro now. I don't know what book that is, 3, 4 for him. It's my first time writing it, and I just had no clue. So I had actually been approached by a literary agent, and I thank him very much, Brian Wood, for convincing me to do this. Because when he first said to me, do you want to write a book? I said, no, like, who cares about whatever stories I have to share? And he convinced me that I had some stuff worth sharing, because you're right. Like, I did want to obviously speak to the young aspiring journalists, but I also just wanted to speak to the sports fans. So I share like a lot of stories when I joined the Toronto Maple Leafs, when I was in Afghanistan and I thought I lost a Stanley Cup ring. Like, I share quite a few stories there. Paul Maurice, former Winnipeg Jets, head coach, and how kind he was to me when I first got into the league. And I share some stories like that. But I wrote a couple, stories, and then we, shopped them out to publishers. One publisher picked it up, and I went, great. So when do I get my ghostwriter? And he looked at me and goes, nah, like, you're writing this book. Like, this is all you. So on one hand, you're completely flattered that somebody liked your writing. On the other hand, I'm like, what? So of course, all the traveling we do, that book was written in quite a few airplanes and in quite a few terminals. And, anytime I had a moment to write it, I did. And I handed in my final draft just before the Paris Olympics. I was getting ready to host the Paris Games. Handed that in, and then that was about a year and a half of writing, and then it was a year of editing. So yeah, you start to learn this whole process, and you're like, oh my goodness. But yeah, so about 2.5 years total till it hit the shelves.
Man, you obviously go through a lot of support over the years, Andy, and I think when you got onto Leafs television, you had great support from Mark Askin and John Shannon, two of the best. And Mark was talking to me this morning about how great you were from the start, and you could see your talent, and you were always stuck with your beliefs. So learning from two of the best like that, how great and how important was that to have their support early on?
Oh, it means everything. And I was lucky. I had, obviously, in things that I share in the book, I had people that just didn't want me around, period. And, you have to deal with that. And just how scary and lonely it can be when you enter this whole professional sports world and you feel like you have nobody really to lean on. So then when some of the vets do say, hey, this is an open door policy, and if you need anything or if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. And, obviously, as a young person too, you never really want to bother somebody. You're always scared you're going to bother somebody. So it's nice when they keep on you to say, no, I'm serious. Do you need something? Do you need help with something?
Yeah.
And like one of the stories I even share with Mark Askin, who's our great producer here at Amazon, and I've had him for a very long time, was, even something as simple as, one time I went to a school and whatever, and I did a whole speech, and I had mentioned that they had introduced me as like, female sportscaster or whatever. And he went, whoa. He goes, why did they feel the need to include your gender? Like when Joe Bowen walks into the room, did they say, here's the male play-by-play voice for the Toronto Maple Leafs? And I was like, oh yeah. Why do they include my gender? Right. So I felt like it was still something that people would, like, our gender was very important to mention. It's like, oh, here's a woman in sports. No, I'm a sportscaster, or I'm a reporter, I'm a host, or whatever it is. And that's it. And I remember it was Mark Askin who kind of opened my eyes a little bit to just be like, nah. You're not just a woman doing this. You're a talented human being doing this. And that's all that should matter. And yes, representation matters too. But at the end of the day, that's not just who you are. You are a proper sportscaster. And those are just things that I learned early on from people like him. And, so that's kind of what gives you that confidence and motivation to move forward.
Well, and you've continued to evolve. And I think that when we had you on maybe last season, I had talked about as well. The appreciation that I have for your career and the way that you haven't just stayed within one path, and you host and do such a tremendous job, award-winning host of CBC's Olympic coverage, your primetime coverage for it. You're very involved with soccer as well. So I have no idea how you possibly had time, whether you're in an airport or not, of writing a book as well. But so let's turn our attention quickly to the Olympics, because obviously that's been a hot topic, whether it be regarding the state of facilities and the NHL going over, or just the Olympics in general. What is it that you look at as being maybe one of the biggest storylines going over into this Olympics right now?
Oh my God. I mean, there are so many. Obviously, Canada, we do really well at the Winter Olympics, and we just have so many incredible athletes going over there. But obviously on the hockey side of things, I'll say this. I'll be completely honest. I mean, it is a little unnerving that a test event will just happen. I think they're aiming for like a month before, because normally test events are a year out, maybe at worst 6 months. So there's no denying that it's unnerving that it's a month out. But I will say, as somebody who has been hosting Olympics now since 2014, so just a little over a decade, this is actually standard. Like this is not going to be ready in time. This is going to fall on your head.
Every time.
Chicky Little says the sky's falling all the time. And then guess what? The Olympics happen. And I would just remind my fellow Canadians, this is exactly, the narrative that was going around the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. In fact, we actually, on a bit of a serious note, we actually had a tragedy before the Olympics started on the sliding events, if you recall, because the track actually was too dangerous, and that was before the game. So, this is kind of what happens with the Olympics a lot, is everyone thinks it's not going to happen. It's not going to be ready. It's not going to be a go. And then it always is. So I think, the NHLers, and even if you've listened to, who's in town tonight, Brady Tkachuk and his brother Matthew there on their podcast, they're like, we don't care. We're going. We don't care. We will be there. So this is how much it means to them too.
As great as it is to have the NHL back, Andy, there's so many great stories within our country. You just talked about how the success we have at the Winter Games. Who are you looking forward to in a sport other than hockey at watching and seeing them have success?
Figure skating, believe it or not, that's the piece de resistance of the Winter Olympic Games globally. So as much as a hockey nation, right? So figure skating is always like really, remarkable to watch. I'll say for Canadians, we are really good at speed skating. In fact, the Winnipeg Jets, I know that the organization there is sponsoring Tyson Light, one of the speed skaters who's got the Jets logo going. So he's long track, short track as well. William Danjanu is somebody to keep an eye on. I mean, the guy's tearing it up on the World Cup circuit right now. So we're really, really good at speed skating. So it's special to watch the Canadians there. And we love our action sports, big air, slope style. Canadians right now still on the World Cup circuit, ending up on podiums. So, there's a lot of big names there too. Cassie Sharp was on the podium in Beijing, went and had a kid, and she's like now tearing it up again, and she's going to be back at the games and like ski half pipe. Like, she's awesome. So there are so many great athletes. Like, Canadians are just really, really good at winter sports.
Well, obviously, before you get there, you have some hockey that you have to deal with, including tonight here with the Senators in town. Your Coffee with Andy on Monday broadcast, everybody always looks forward to. Who is your guest? What do people have to look forward to tonight, Andy?
Tonight it is Jonathan Taves. So I had a chance to sit down with him and be a little bit real about the season that's happening right now for him, and what he's loved about being back, but of course, what are some of the biggest challenges? So we had a good little chuckle, because he did say at one point, he's like, when did I become the old guy in the room? I'm like, preach, sister, because when did I become the old girl too in the room? Like, like time flies, as you mentioned. So like, even writing this book, I'm remembering some of these stories, and I went, oh, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah. That's the scariest part, isn't it?
Yeah. It just time flies here. But I want to say this, and I know I'm probably going to make you blush a little bit. But, there is also a section in my book, too, where I say that, unfortunately, the industry, at least earlier on, was set up in a way where it would pit women against each other, because there was a belief that there was only room for one of us or just a few of us. And so unfortunately, women who probably would have been the best of friends never created connections because of this belief that someone's coming in to replace you. Sarah, you never were like that. You were the most amazing, warm, loving person, and you were so kind to everybody. And I mean, when we had a chance to see each other on a regular basis in Toronto, you greeted everyone with a smile, and it just like you made every woman feel like part of the sisterhood. So I was sad when you left because I really look forward to seeing you all the time, because it's great to be around people like you. Like that's what makes going to work fun. So I want to make sure I say that because it's very important, right? And now as I get older too, I try to make sure that I take women under, especially young girls under my wing, because I know how lonely it can feel, right? So it matters. It matters to have women like you in the industry.
Well, back at you, Andy. I mean, you're great. You're such a talent. You're such a inspiration to so many people. And I think it's so true that when we first started in the industry, I mean, when you're going back 20 years, it was women were kind of pitted against each other. You never, the camaraderie that you see now did not exist to the same extent that you saw then. So hopefully it's great to see the progressions that we have made in that department. And thank you for the kind words. You got Jamie all emotional hearing them about me, which was so.
You can use your scarf to dab your tears.
There you go.
Let's not talk about it. Let's move on from this. Great book, by the way. Yes. Where can we get the book?
Andy, we appreciate your time so much. Again, everyone, if you are looking, whether it be for a holiday gift idea or just a great read from one of our country's best sports broadcasters, not female sports broadcasters, just best sports broadcasters.
Well said.
Just Call Me Andy, Sports Stories from a Trailblazers. Andy Petrillo, thank you so much for the time, my dear. And we look forward to seeing you back at the rink in a few hours.
Yeah, appreciate it. See you soon.
Thanks, Andy.
She honestly, she's so great. But she's so busy. When I said the Olympic coverage, and she does CBC on Saturday, she does soccer. She's just so well-rounded and well-versed.
Did you see how well she flowed, though, after I changed from hockey to the Winter Olympics? Not a problem.
Of course not.
Andy's unreal. So that's I've not been up to snuff on what's going on outside of hockey with terms of the Olympics.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear who we should be watching for when the Winter Olympics come in February, outside of Team Canada, of course.
Yeah, of course, both men's and women's teams. Love to be able to see so many people here talking about how much they love the Olympics and their appreciation for Andy as well. I saw someone mention Leafs Lunch. She was the host of that as well. So, I mean, she just has such an extensive resume, but is a great.
That was really nice what she said.
Is a great one to chat for. It was very nice.
It's really nice.
It was very nice.
I have never said anything that nice to you ever.
Absolutely.
I think that's why I was getting emotional. I'm like, I should be a lot nicer to her. She's really nice. That's what other people tell me.
That's what other people tell me. Just quickly before we go, we do want to turn our attention back to tonight's game against Ottawa. So Washington came into town and obviously had been rolling the way that they had. Ottawa struggles. They're seventh in the Atlantic, as I mentioned. They have a number of teams that they're going to have to hop over if they want to get into one of those final wildcard spots. But if there is an area of their game that they have been successful with, it has been with the man advantage.
Yeah, they're fourth in the NHL right now in the power play. Very dangerous, but they've been together for a very long time. So you're gonna hear from a few of the Jets, a couple of Jets players, and of course Scott Arniel with the handful that their power play provides. And it's a good thing the Jets PK is kind of righted the ship for one game because they're gonna have their hands full tonight against the Sens.
same group, been together a while. I think there's been a number of guys that have obviously been able to play it. I want to give all the credit to Davis. He put it together and then left. But no, but you know what? I think it's just that group is very it's talented, obviously, and there's 10 guys that are pretty talented when they get out there, and there's the ability there. There's a lot of guys that have been together for a while as well.
Yeah, so a lot. I guess basically the theme there is there's just great chemistry on the Senators power play. And you heard Scott O'Neill talk about Davis Payne, who was the architect of the Sens power play for a while, left and then came here.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we need to wrap.
Yep.
But before that, we do have a couple of things that we want to go through, including there is a new ground control out.
Yes. So spoke with Cole Perfetti about his bobblehead. That's out. Fantastic. Spoke to him. The best part about the conversation though was about Christmas, and I asked him. He's like, he loves Christmas. He says he hates decorating any other time of year, but when it comes to putting up the tree, which I agree with him, it's still awesome.
Yes.
And then also I asked him, because Mark Scheifele, Connor Hellebuyck, Dylan Sandberg, and himself have all been in commercials. So I asked him about who the best actor is in the Jets dressing room, and you can hear that answer right here. You, Sandberg, Scheif, and Helly are all in commercials now. Who would be the best actor in the Jets room today?
I actually haven't even seen Scheif's or Helly's, so I don't even know. But right. He's not afraid to embarrass himself. He's just always putting smiles on guys' face, so it's fun to do that.
Talking about Dylan Sandberg. We started together. So he goes, most of the guys in the room are very serious, which you can see. He goes, Sandberg's always ready to make a fool of himself. So during the commercial shoot that they were in, he said Sandberg was hamming it up with everybody.
I believe it. Those are some pretty entertaining commercials that the two have done together. Okay, so Christmas or holiday gift idea, the scarf, obviously, Andy's book. But here, if you're coming to the game tonight, and this is an annual fair that I know is one of the most popular ones. So the Winnipeg Jets Wives and Girlfriends, it's in a bag. It comes in a great, already wrapped for you. For it. It is the mystery ornaments. More than 700 signed mystery ornaments featuring the Winnipeg Jets 15th anniversary logo will be sold exclusively at the holiday game tonight in support of the True North Youth Foundation. Each ornament will be wrapped to reveal a mystery signature with 4 special ornaments, including a bonus post-game meet and greet with Colin Miller, Vlad Nemesnikov, Nino Niederreiter, or Cole Perfetti. So these are available again at the game tonight. $25 on the concourse. They sell out every year, as they should. You want to make sure that if you're coming to the game, here is another great gift idea for you.
And don't forget these scarves either. So, and game's at 6:30 tonight.
On Amazon.
Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Or 680 CGOB or Power 97. Listen, there was many thanks to Andy Trillo for coming on. And thanks to all the Jets players that contributed. And of course, make sure you check out Ground Control, the latest edition with Cole Perfetti. You'll really enjoy it. There's a holiday theme to it. Talks about how he used to get presents and go to his friend's house on Christmas Day and then sleep over and then watch the World Juniors. Ooh. Then, of course, you may or may not know he ended up playing at the World Juniors a couple times.
And after today, there are 3 games left for the Jets before the holiday break.
Yep.
And it all begins on Wednesday in St. Louis.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you a little on Wednesday, like you said.
Yeah.
For the game against St. Louis.
That one.
Yeah.
Right there.
Right there.
Right there.
St. Louis.
Okay.
First game of a 3-game road trip.
It's a Monday. What can we say?
Right.
Thanks so much, everyone, for checking in. Enjoy the rest of your day.